Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are going through Mark 15 and Mark 16. Mark 15 brings us back to Friday morning. Jesus is brought to Pilate because he needs to approve the execution. Jesus says next to nothing in response to Pilate's questions, and Pilate marvels at it. He continues to ask the council if he wants Barabbas freed or Jesus, and asks them a second time to make sure because he knows that the scribes have delivered Jesus out of envy. Barabbas is freed, and Jesus will be crucified. He's taken away, mocked and clothed in purple, a crown of thorns thrusted onto his head. They beat him, spit on him, mock him again, bowing and praying and saying, "All hail, King of the Jews." When they are finished, they change him back into his old clothes, and Simon is ordered to carry the cross to Golgotha, where Jesus refuses the myrrh drink to dull the pain. He is crucified at the third hour, with a sign over his head that says King of the Jews, along with a thief on his left side and one on his right side. This fulfills the scripture saying, "He was numbered with the transgressors." People continue to mock him and say to save himself from the cross. The thieves next to him revile him. Darkness then descends in the afternoon, and Jesus cries out, my God, why have thou forsaken me?" indicating his agony does not overcome his faith, and that he refers to God still as my God. A man attempts to give him a drink, but is told not to, in an effort that people may see Elijah appear to aid him. Jesus then dies. The veil of the temple is rent in twain, and this indicates that his death has allowed us all free access to the holy love of God. Women have been on this journey with him: Mary Magdalene, and Mary, the mother of Joseph, and Salome. And it's significant because they see the death, the burial, and the resurrection. Joseph of Arimathea asks Pilate for the body, and Pilate is shocked that Jesus is already dead, and he grants him access to it. Jesus' body is then wrapped in fine linen and placed in the sepulchre, and the rock rolled into the front, sealing his grave. We now come to chapter 16, the final chapter of Mark. This brings us to Sunday morning, when Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Salome, go to the grave to anoint his body with sweet spices, and they find that the rock has already been rolled out of place, a feat only to be accomplished with the work of several men. Inside, there is a young man dressed all in white waiting for them. He says, "Do not be afraid, that Christ has risen." He says to go and tell the disciples what they have seen. The ladies leave and are amazed and afraid. Mary Magdalene is the first to see Jesus. She goes and tells the disciples what she has seen, but no one believes her. Jesus then appears to two more disciples. They go and tell everyone, but no one believes them either. He then appears to them all at dinner, and he upbraids them for not believing and their hardness of heart. He tells them to go into the world and teach the Gospels to each nation, and says that those that will believe and are baptized will be saved, and unbelievers will be damned. He tells the disciples to go and cast out devils in his name, and to wait and watch for the signs that follow for his second coming. After he speaks to them, he is taken up to heaven and sits at the right hand of God. The disciples do indeed set forth to do what Jesus tells them to, and they go and teach and preach, with the Lord working with them. Okay, everybody, with that, we have the end of the Gospel of Mark. We finished all 16 chapters. I will say there is a disclaimer in this study Bible that says there are two different versions of the end of the book of Mark. One that ends with Mark 16, verse 8, and the second, that is in this Bible, ends at verse 20. They do say to rely on both versions in all the Gospels for proper discernment. I wanted to say thank you for accompanying me on this ride as we've gone through both Mark and Matthew, and tomorrow we will start the book of Luke. If you have any questions about anything that we've done this far, please go ahead and comment down below, and hopefully we can get through it together. If not, I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks very much, everybody. Bye.